welcome to the Paul Michael's Revolution podcast. This is a Paumiko dog training Q&A session that we are holding in the Paumiko dog training inner circle. So the Paumiko inner circle is a closed private Facebook group for everyone that is either subscribed or has purchased the Paumiko Dog Guide. And the Paumiko Dog Guide is an online video series where we've filmed the entire training of some dogs from start to finish, and we're filming the training of the retraining of older dogs that have bad habits. It's just basically a video series with everything that you need to train your own dog. And the Paumiko Inner Circle, like I said, it's a closed Facebook group where people that are following the series can be in this group, but they can ask questions, they can post things, people can talk amongst themselves, but the main thing we do in there is these live Q&As, and it's just a place for people that are following the Paumiko Dog Guide, training their own dogs, whether they're starting with a new pup or improving a dog they've got, or retraining an older dog. Any questions they have, anything they want help with, they can bring along to the Paumiko Inner Circle, and then I talk about them in these live Q&As. And we put the audio from these live Q&As up on the Paul Michael's Revolution podcast. So again, anyone that's following the Paumiko Dog Guide, that's in the Paumiko Inner Circle, or absolutely anyone at all, can use that podcast function to just listen to just the audio while you're driving to work or while you're doing whatever you're doing. And it's just a really good, easy way of consuming information, you know. And I listen to podcasts a lot. I listen to them while I'm doing other stuff or while I'm driving. And that's that. So far, the Paumiko dog training and the Paumiko dog guide is a pretty new product. It hasn't been launched for long. We haven't advertised it that much. We're sort of more flat out working on it and adding to it all the time. And so we've only got a fairly small group at the moment in the Paumiko Inner Circle, but it's kind of growing all the time. We have one question here from Jeremy Moyle, which is, "Hi Paul, my dog has started randomly biting at the knees and ankles at totally random times. His teeth are pretty sharp, so it's hard not to move away quickly or react to this behavior. Any ideas?" So Jeremy, I'm guessing if your dog's teeth are sharp, now this is a question that's come in, he's really throwing it in here, because we put a post up in the Paumiko Dog Training Inner Circle. If you can't make it to the Q&A, you can just ask the questions on these posts and then we'll answer them later. So when you're asking questions like this, guys, the more details, the better. Like the age of your dog, what training you've done with it, how long you've been on the Paumiko Dog Guide, as much history and details and age and as much as possible to help me answer these questions. But I definitely know what you mean there, Jeremy, and I'm guessing if you're saying the dog's teeth are fairly sharp, it's probably a young pup. And it's a really, really common thing with young pups. You know, they're playful and mouthy, and they want to get their paws up on you all the time, and they want to lick you and bite you and mouth you and all of that. And it's definitely something that you want to discourage and get away from as soon as possible, and move towards that nice, calm attentiveness where you can sort of tell the pup to sit, and then you can give it a nice pat. And as you can see with my dogs, and even with Miko, the dog we're training in the Paumiko Dog Guide, right from a pup, pretty early on, she was really good at just being nice and calm. And that's from using our principles of reading and timing and pressure and praise, calm handling, and lots of different things. That's all in the Paumiko Dog Guide. But and we've actually just added to it there really elaborating with a couple of the new videos that we put up this week. One's actually called Calm Handling, and it's really talking about that finer layer of reading and timing and pressure and praise. So reading and timing and pressure and praise is basically just reading your dog and reacting to it accordingly with good timing, and it's very, very important. And pressure and praise is basically putting pressure on what we don't want and praise on what we do want. So, for example, if a pup or dog bites my knee, I go, ah, and it might even be, we call that a command of disapproval, ah, just no, ah, and pull away. So we're putting pressure on and instantly disengaging. Jeremy even says in the question, hey Paul, my dog has started randomly biting my knees at totally random times. His teeth are pretty sharp, so it's hard not to move away quickly or react to this behavior. And that's good. You want to react to it very quickly. And that moving away is very important. That very quick, that's timing. Disengaging very quickly with really good timing. But putting pressure on too is very important, and a firm command of disapproval. Like as soon as your dog does that, bites you, and pull away, disengage. If the dog persists and actually as you turn away, it's still sort of climbing on the back of your leg, I would then escalate the pressure and I would actually physically push the dog away from me. So it's not hitting the dog, it's not hurting the dog, it's just pushing the dog away from me. And it's not a gentle, like, engaging with the dog, placing a gentle hand on it and turning back to face it and saying anything like, no, get down, stop, because you're turning, that's engaging. And certain things that feel like you're putting pressure on or feels like you are trying to push the dog away, to the dog you're actually engaging with it. And this is our Paumiko principle of reason and rationalization. And we talk about how pups and dogs view the world completely different to humans. The way they reason and rationalize is completely different. They have an IQ of a 3-year-old human, but it goes a lot further than that, in that we can only measure their IQ something happened there, but I think we're still rolling. We can only measure their IQ as being about the same as a 3-year-old human, but it goes so much more further than that, because they might have a measurable IQ about the same as a 3-year-old human, but the way that IQ works and the way they view the world and use that IQ is very, very, very different. And when we're handling our dogs and looking at it from a human perspective, it's very, very easy to think that we are telling them one thing with actions and tones and words and body language, and the pup or dog is seeing that completely differently. And so it's really important that we get the timing and the tone and our actions right. And it can get very, very subtle. And in this video we made, how long's that video, Henry? It's about 20 minutes, eh?
Yep.
Yeah. We just put a 20-minute video up in the Paumiko Dog Guide, really getting right into this and explaining it in depth. And even that's only really an introduction to it, and we're just going to go deeper and deeper into it in the Paumiko Dog Guide. But for example, if your pup or dog bites your leg and you just try and pull away without putting pressure on, and then it sort of follows you and keeps trying to do it, and then you miss the point where it's standing there nicely, you're missing that point of putting pressure on what you don't want and praise on what you do want. You're just disengaging. So Pressure on what you don't want and praise on what you do want. The praise on what you do want is just as important, and you need the pressure and praise. You can't just disengage with what you don't want as far as turning away. So if the pup or dog jumps up, tries to bite your knee, what you want to do is go, push it away, and it has to be, you're pushing the pup or dog away to your side or behind you as you turn away, and that's it. And if it tries to follow you and keep jumping up, it's just and you're pushing it away. You're not turning back around to face it or engage with it, because a pup or dog jumping up and biting your knee or doing anything like that, biting, pawing, barking, jumping, any of that sort of negative disengagement, any of that negative engagement that you don't want. We want nice, calm, attentive attention, where the pup or dog is looking to you. What do you want me to do next? Or can I just have a pat? Or can I just be in your space and let's just both be relaxed and just enjoy what we're doing, whether you're walking or chilling out or whatever. If a pup or dog tries to carry out any of those behaviors, jumping, biting, any of that, and you might go no and turn around, and you're nice and calm and your tone's a bit off, and turn back around when it's jumping up on the back of your legs, turn around to face it and go no and push it down, and then when it sort of stops, you disengage and walk away. That can actually be perceived from your pup or dog as it jumped up, it wanted your attention, you weren't paying attention to it, it jumped up on you, you turned around, touched it, engaged with it, pushed it back down, and then as soon as it was sitting down nicely, you disengaged with it and walked away. So next time it wants your attention, it's going to jump up on the back of your legs, and then you do the same thing over again. You turn around, engage with it, calmly push it down. When it's down again, you disengage and walk away. And that can develop a pattern of then it just keeps jumping up. You keep pushing down and it jumps up harder and you push it down harder. And now you're in a pattern of, I get a question, it doesn't matter how much I push my dog down, it just keeps jumping up. And I don't understand it. There's nothing that I can do to stop it. And that's a classic example of us looking at a dog and thinking that they are processing information in the same way as we do, and we are wondering why it's not making sense to them, when actually they process a lot of information very, very differently. But the cool thing is the way they process information is actually really, really basic. And once you know how to get it right, it's really, really easy to get a dog to be calm and stop all of those things. And that's why the dogs are so trainable, and why people that understand it properly can just train almost any dog to be. That's why some people always have trouble with dogs, and other people, you give them any dog and they can just turn it into a dream very easily, because they're getting all that reading and timing right, because they understand it. So to give you, instead of just talking about all this theory and what not to do, to move on to actually the way to do it properly, is if that pup or dog jumps up on you, let's use that example of you're walking away and it jumps up on the back of your legs and it claws you with its feet, or it bites you, or even if it just licks you, even if it's just bumping into the back of your leg. It's trying to get your attention, but it's not in a constructive way, and it's in a way that if you don't deal with it correctly, it could snowball into, some pretty annoying habits. So the dog does it. You're walking away, it jumps up on the back of your legs. I would just go and push it back down. So, and keep disengage, or I wouldn't turn around and engage with it. I'd just go I'd actually lift my head up to look. I don't even want to look down, make eye contact, or even looking down is engaging with that behavior. And when a dog's doing that type of thing. It's trying to get you to engage. So I'll go up, push it down, keep moving, and then basically as soon as I reach a moment where that pup or dog isn't jumping up on me, which is most likely directly after I've put it down, so I'm either disengaging or remaining disengaged and putting pressure on what I don't want with that command of disapproval and maybe even a sharp push away. And then as soon as that pup, all four legs is on the ground, I'd maybe separate that pressure and disengagement for even 2 or 3 seconds. And as soon as I get a tiny 2 or 3 second space with that pup or dog when it's not jumping up on me, then I would turn around and go, good dog, and engage with it when it's not jumping up on me. And that's the key. And that's a really, really important key. And we put all of this in the last few videos that we just posted on the Paumiko Dog Guide. With that type of thing, when a pup starts jumping up at you like that, it's trying to engage with you. It's trying to get your attention. And even if you do all that timing properly of pushing the dog away, giving it a command of disapproval, disengaging and all of that, you'll still never quite get there. You can't do it with just praise and you can't do it with just pressure. It's always both. It's giving the dog something to move away from while also giving it something to move towards. And that's really important. The pressure is telling the pup or dog what you don't want it to do. But if you just do that, the pup or dog still doesn't know what to do instead. It wants to do something and it's going to keep trying, but it doesn't know what to do. So that's where being proactive about it, pushing it back down, pushing it away. And again, this is where training is really important. And that's why we start training our sit drill in the Paumiko Dog Guide from day one, with linking that action with commands and linking it all with nice calm praise and all of that. And we've got free videos talking about that on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and all over the place. But it's really important that you give that pup that positive alternative and show it how you want it to do it. And that is basically just calm praise when the pup or dog is doing the right thing. And the right thing in this situation is if you have a problem with your pup or dog jumping up, biting, pawing, licking, any of that sort of stuff, well, the opposite to that is basically being calm, all 4 feet on the ground with its mouth closed. That's basically all it is. Or not even its mouth closed, but its mouth not reaching towards you. So to go back to the start of the whole process, the pup or dog jumps up or bites or licks or does any of that stuff, and disengage. Then as soon as you get that little 2 or 3 second window when all 4 feet are on the ground, it's not trying to bite you, you re-engage and give it some praise. Give it a nice calm praise. Not good dog! And all this hyping up stuff that you see a lot of in dog training nowadays, none of that. We do use a little bit of hyped up praise, and it's sometimes when we're training our recall early on and a few different things, but this is one time you definitely don't want to do it. And a lot of these problems come from bits and pieces of that type of training and that massive hype the dog, good dog, you just done it, and really hype it. Not that. Not in this case, not in this situation. That pup or dog jumps up, pressure on with good timing, disengage. As soon as all 4 feet are back on the ground, turn around and just try to get a hand on it and give it a pat. Calm, good dog, good girl or good boy, give it a pat. Kneel down, give it a rub on. It's trying to engage with you, you know. give it a big pat and up, even pick it up and engage with it, spend some time with it. It's really, really important. That's all they're trying to do. They're trying to work out how to create that bond and relationship with you, and we really do actually have to show them how to do it. And that's the thing. Once they realize I see pups and dogs doing this all the time when we're training them. We're making the series of videos on remedial training with an older dog called Bo, and Bo's a lovely dog, but she's had a lot of things. She was a rescue dog, so she sort of arrived at a new home with problems, and then some of those problems escalated, and her owners didn't understand a lot of these things, which most people don't. I'd go out on a limb and say almost 99% of people honestly really don't fully understand, dog psychology and the way dogs think and how simple it really is, and how easy it is to do wrong. And Bo's a classic example, that beautiful dog, and just a few of these finer reading and timing things just have never been done right with her, and some of these bad habits have just escalated until you've got this dog that the whole time she's just trying to find the right thing to do, but she's never been shown how to do it in a way she can understand. And it's just got worse and worse and worse until everywhere she's just going crazy the whole time. She's pulling on the leash and going nuts at other dogs, and she won't sit, and she's sort of jumping up at you, and she's just almost like frantic the whole time trying to work out what to do. And just to be quite frank, within 10 or 15 minutes of doing the right stuff with her, she was basically as good as gold. We still need to work through it for over a lot more time and make that more relaxed behavior far more consistent and in more situations. And she's still got a lot of rehabilitation to do, but it was really just a matter of showing her that she could just be calm and relaxed, and that was going to be okay. And you can actually see dogs realizing it, and they'll be all tense and mouth closed and leaning forward and pulling on the leash, and you check it, give them a check on the leash, and then they stand there for a second and they're like, what's going on? And then you use the right timing and give them a pat and a praise, and they go, oh, hang on, am I just meant to, can I just stand here and just be relaxed? And you're like, yeah, good dog. And then they forget again a minute later and jump and bark, and you go, and then as soon as they're standing normally, you give them another pat, and you see them going from tense, mouth closed to, and they start, and you can see them, and they'll yawn, they'll like do that big dog yawn, and you see them like taking a big breath, just going, holy shit. Did I not have to be doing that this whole time? Like you really do, and all of this stuff is just that reading and timing, and understanding the way the dog is interpreting the things we're doing. And in that video too, we talk about, we've got all the footage of retraining Bo, and it's all the stuff's explained properly, scripted with the footage of actually doing it, in the Paumiko Dog Guide. And we talk about, in that video, we talk about how, and demonstrate how, I'm trying to think. It's very, very rare, and it may almost be, I think it's almost never. But in the video, I think I actually said 99.9% of the time, when a dog is doing something you don't want it to do, it's not that it knows that you don't know that it's not that it knows that you don't want it to do it, and it's still doing it anyway. It's actually that it doesn't realize that it doesn't have to do it, and it doesn't realize there's a better alternative. And it can be quite hard to believe or hard to understand or wrap your head around when you're shown, because when you look at a dog from a human perspective, when their brains work totally different. And you're like, but I push it down every time it does it, and he just keeps jumping up. But as you begin to understand it and you realize, okay, I'm starting to get it now, because every time I turn around, the dog's trying to get me to engage, so it's jumping up. And every time it does it, I turn around and push it back down and say, no, get down. And that's actually engaging with the dog. So I'm engaging with it when it's trying to get me to engage with it, and I'm engaging with it for jumping up and biting. I'm not giving it a better alternative. All my reading and timing's off, and I'm just completely screwing my dog up. And that's just so often the case. And I'm not saying that's exactly what Jeremy's doing, but I'm saying that's, the idea of these Q&As is to answer questions directly, but a really important part of them is to just spread this, share this information with as many people as possible. And so answering these questions in this sort of wide general way is a really good way of doing that, Okay, so looks like we've got saying we've got, oh, g'day Ian. For some reason I haven't been able to see comments on my computer screen here. But I've just opened it up on my phone. I can see Ian's there. Hi, Ian. Kimberly's here or has been here. Ian, Luke, how's it going, guys? And that's about the only question we had here so far today. Any of you guys, how's the sound and everything? Is everything working okay your guys' end? This is our first time using this new mic and everything on Facebook Live. Actually, it's the second time. We tried it earlier in Big Game Indicating Dogs, and it was we had a few technical issues, and we're trying again there at 6 o'clock tonight. But we are recording this. We are recording this actually in about 3 different ways. So even if hopefully you guys are hearing and seeing this all properly live, but if you're not, we'll repost it. We'll put all these up in the Paumiko Dog Guide. We'll put them on the Paul Michael's Revolution podcast. We'll put the full edited version back up in the Paumiko Inner Circle. It'll be all over the place. It's showing me I've got 4 people listening, but there's lots of lag and I'm not seeing comments on my computer. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself here. Have you got your phone, Henry? Can you just jump in the inner circle and see if you can see any comments, or because I'm watching it in 2 places and I'm seeing 2 different things. So I just don't want to miss a question or comment from someone. Oh, there's quite a big lag too.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yep. So yeah, Lena's just said hi. Hi, Lena. Lena. Any questions? Is there more of a lag with this setup than...
I don't know.
Oh, there's probably not actually, eh? Yeah, I remember there was a lag on comments and everything. How's the sound? How's the sound, guys? So yeah, we've basically got heaps of stuff to hook into with Miko. She's well at the stage where she's ready to move on to a heap of new stuff for the training Miko section of the Paumiko Dog Guide. I mean, you guys that have been following the dog guide know where she's at. She's basically all house trained, kennel trained. She's actually done a couple of nights, full nights out in the kennel now, and she can do full nights inside in the crate. She's good on the lead around other people and dogs. She's getting those freedom sessions off leash, and we're just starting to get her off leash recall going now, kind of around a little bit of distraction, but we're being real careful with that. Oh, super good sound, crisp as. That's good. That's good, man. We've been working on this sound thing pretty hard. So it'll be good for everyone, really, I think, having good sound, and we'll be putting it up on the Paumiko's. If you just search, I don't know how many people you guys are into podcasts, but basically if you download almost any of the top podcast apps and then search the Paumiko's Revolution podcast, there's a heap of stuff on there. But for people that are following the Paumiko Dog Guide or are just interested in the Paumiko general dog training stuff, we'll actually call the Paumiko ones Paumiko QnA or Paumiko something. So oh yeah, Ian's just saying some lag and backup. Yeah. Yeah, we'll label them because there's big game indicating dog stuff in there, and I'm doing other podcasts with guests coming in talking about all sorts of weird stuff. But like I said, we'll label the Paumiko ones Paumiko. So if you can't make the live Q&As, or you don't have time to actually sit down, and because you don't really need to be watching me talk in these videos or in these Q&As and things, it's all about the audio really, and that's why I've got the good gear for it, and that's why we're putting it on a podcast. And if you're not familiar with podcasts, we're finding since we started, everyone's heard of them, but then people are like, what is it? What is a podcast? It's just audio, and it's just like listening to the radio, and you can do it on your phone. And audio is real good because video uses tons of data, and audio is good because it doesn't use much data. The apps are free. There's tons of different apps for different phones and things, but if you just type in podcast into the app store, you'll come up with the top ones for your phone. Download it, search the Paumiko's Revolution, it'll come up. Go into it, add it to favorites, or however that app works. It's super, super easy. My mum can do it, and she's you know, what I'm trying to say is even people that aren't huge into technology can generally follow their nose and work it out. Download a podcast app free from the App Store, search the Paumiko's Revolution podcast, or it's just actually the Paumiko's Revolution, go into it and scroll and listen to the Paumiko ones. This will be the first Paumiko one going up, but we'll be posting all of the Paumiko Q&As there, and then it's free. It doesn't use much data. You can listen to them on the way to work or when you're doing other stuff. I listen to podcasts heaps, just headphones on or earbuds in, and I'm doing stuff, listening to whatever I want. So Ian's saying, yep. Ian's saying hello. Lena's saying hello. Kimberly's saying super good sound. Ian's saying all good, some lag and backup, maybe my old PC. There is, I don't know what it is. There's definitely lag. I've got two screens of myself. One is a direct live feed straight from the camera that's set up there, and then I'm watching myself on the computer down here, and I'm seeing the direct straight feed straight from the camera, and then I'm seeing what you guys are seeing on Facebook, and what I'm seeing on Facebook is about 20 seconds behind what is actually happening. And it may be occasionally freezing a little bit too, but I think it works really well 90% of the time on Facebook, so people that can log straight and can ask a few questions and this and that. It's cut out on us a couple of times, we just start a new one, but the main thing is that we're actually recording all of this on another camera and with some different software and all of that, and we'll upload the nice full clean version that'll all work perfectly back up to Facebook in the Paumiko Inner Circle, and the audio will go up on the Paul Michaels Revolution podcast. So if there's no other questions, guys, we might wrap this up. But yeah, as I was saying, sort of beginning to say before, we've got a heap of new stuff to start working on with Miko. She's going really well. Basically, I mean, she's going perfectly. And she's at the point now where she's got her sit drill, her stop and go. She's good around people and kids and other dogs. She's nice and in and around the house. She's good in a crate inside. She can sleep all night in a kennel. She's good traveling. She's basically got no annoying bad habits. And the next big step, or there's several, but from here will be, so far her stop drill, we've been setting up the real nice pattern of it. So we go Miko and she comes to me and sits down. The next step in part 4 is setting up that stop drill, so wherever she is, when I say sit, when I say Miko sit, she just sits on the spot. So she might be 5 meters away, 10 meters away, eventually she might be 100 meters away. When I give that stop, it's just like a pause button, and it's just the way we train our stop command. Is we start, I mean, in part 1, when Miko was 8 weeks old, we basically start training the stop with our hands on the pup, and the pup's like right in under our feet, and we gently push their bum down, say sit, and give them a pat when they sit and all that, and we set up the pattern. And then in part 2, we took another little step. By part 3, we've got the pup sort of sitting down about 1 meter away, and then we can step back and walk around. And I mean, you guys that have watched the dog guide saw all that. The next step is, like I say, we don't have to go to the pup, or the pup doesn't have to come to us. It's just a pause button. She might be 5 meters away. Miko sit, and she'll just bang, sit down there. And we'll also be ramping up the distraction on the stop a little bit too. So that'll be that step in the stop drill. We'll be doing some short leash work, so teaching a nice heel, and just getting her walking on the short leash. So far we've been doing everything on the long line. Heel's a big one. I mean, but with the way we've trained her and everything that we've done, it's almost automatic, and you guys will see that in part 4. It's it really is. You just put the leash on with everything that we've done. We've set the foundation so good. You basically just put the leash on, and you've got a dog that's walking perfectly on the leash without pulling and all of that, and you guys will see that. And that's where the remedial training section is really cool. And a dog like Bo, that's what we'll be doing in the next few videos with Bo, is really showing. We've gone over that basic sit drill with Bo in the remedial training. And also really the very first step at just turning the whole situation with their lead work around. So she was in that first video, we put 3 videos of Bo? It was yeah. We got 3 videos of training Bo. One was the introduction, one was the stop, and one was the leash work. That first leash work video with Bo was really just the real beginning point of turning the whole ship around with Bo, and going from her just pulling and having no manners whatsoever on the leash to just turning the corner. And from here, the next one of the next videos we'll make with Bo will be really, we've shown you the fundamentals with Odin in the remedial training section, and we've sort of shown you another little version of that with Bo. Now we're really going to show you how we train a heel. We've got the fundamentals and all the principles down. We'll do that with Bo, and that'll be perfect because we can't really do it with Miko because she's set up so well, we're not really going to have much to work with. She's just going to do it. But that's the beauty of Bo. She gives us plenty to work with. Just seeing a comment from Kimberly. Can you see that comment from Kimberly?
Oh, yep. My pub is 11.
Yeah, I can't open. Can you open it up to see more? I can't on my side.
Yeah, I already opened it up. It's using my mobile data instead of the Wi-Fi. I think this is why my internet is better.
How come I can't see the rest of that comment though?
Oh, see more.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean now. Yep.
Sweet, cheers, mate. Kimberly, my pupa's 11 weeks old. We are following the blueprint, but a few aspects of the dog guide too. She's been a dream mostly, but has taken to biting our clothes lately and sort of trying to do a tug of war with you, resulting in holes in clothes. Any idea? Command and disapproval doesn't seem to work with this, but she responds to it well everywhere else. Example, Kimberly, I don't know. I basically did about half an hour exactly on this, the first half hour of this Q&A. And there's like a 20-minute video up in the Paumiko dog guide that we posted this week all on that. So you'll be able to go when we finish this live call. I don't know if you might have missed the first 25 minutes because I basically, if I answer that question, I just do that whole first 25 minutes of this Q&A again. So yeah, as soon as we stop recording, you'll be able to go back to the start and listen to that and comment and let us know if that answers it, or you'll be able to listen to it on the podcast if that's easier. Yeah, it's a hard case that we've been talking about this this question a lot lately, and that's exactly why I made that exact 20-minute video that I did in the dog guide, sort of addressing it. And yeah, it's interesting. Where do we have that? Someone else asked that question. It's all the exact same thing. And yeah, we're just hamming it out 20 minutes worth. So give that a go, Kimberly. And but by all means, if there's something of that doesn't make sense, or it doesn't sort of sort it out for you, or give you a plan of something new to try, let us know, and we'll hammer it out again. Yeah, definitely. But I think that'll do it. Yeah, so that's about it really, guys, for me. Yeah, we've just been flat out sorting out a whole bunch of stuff, really cool stuff, and all this podcast gear and everything's been a big part of it. And we were flat out filming and editing and making those. What'll we post 5 videos in the Paumiko dog guide this week, and yeah, really, and Monday's just straight back into it. Be spending a lot of time making videos for the Paumiko dog guide over the next few months, and potentially kind of forever, just keep adding to it. Yeah. Any more questions? What else are we going to go over in part 4? We'll be doing, yeah, as I said, Miko has now spent a couple of nights in the kennel, and we've sort of done some filming for that, and that'll be going in part 4. But really the main things is the next step on that stop, and increasing distraction on the stop too will be a big one. The short leash, the heel. Also just talking about proximity and range. So she's really getting to the point now when we're out on the beach walking on the long line. When she was younger, we'd be walking along the long line, and she'd sort of go out to the end of it and just loop back, and then go out to the end and loop back, and just like nicely stay in range. Now her attention and focus is really starting to go out. She's looking way down the beach, focusing on distractions and external things, and starting to pull on the long line, or wanting to go out right to the end of it and stay there, which is perfect because, again, sometimes when you do all the stuff just bang on, the Papua dog sort of just gets ready for things and just starts doing things automatically as you approach them. But that's another area, like the stop drill. We're approaching a point where we've now got a big new step that we can work on. But again, it'll be really easy because she's set up so well for it. And that range thing, there's a couple of really big important steps that we can take there to just sort that proximity out, which is really moving towards the point where we're getting that off-leash control like I had with Print and Fly, where I can take them to the beach or anywhere, beach or park or wherever, let them off the long line, and they can run around free off-leash, but I still have that bit of range. They know that proximity to stay inside. I can tell them, away you go, and they'll run miles away, but then I can also call them back whenever I want, put them in at heel. They've got a really good off-leash heel around distraction, and then I can also release them just to run around like kind of within 10 or 20 meters, so free exploring, but it's not totally out of control. So we'll be taking another big step on that with Miko in part 4, and tons of other stuff. Any questions your end, Henry? Okay. I'm going to wrap it up here, guys, so I'm not waffling on. And that's it. We'll leave it at that. If anyone listening on the podcast wants to find out more about the Paumiko Dog Guide or the D-Dog Blueprint or any stuff, Paumiko Dog Training on Facebook and Instagram is the best place. You can send us messages, check out a whole bunch of stuff, ask us questions, and there's also links to the Paumiko Dog Guide and a trailer for it and a bunch of information on it. And likewise for all of our other stuff. Paumiko Dog Training, Facebook and Instagram, Big Game Indicating Dogs, Facebook and Instagram, and for the audio of any of this stuff, depending on where you're listening or watching, the Paul Michaels Revolution on all of the top podcast apps. Cheers, guys. Thanks for the questions as well, and we'll talk soon.